So you know what this means? We're going to be doing an analysis of a video. And the video we're going to do today is by Dana Coverstone. So I have to do a shout out to Nevi Gabriel for tipping me off on Dana Coverstone's LLC that he's put up and some other interesting things. So he gave me the link to this video and I wanted to share this with you along with my analysis of it to let you know where this guy is headed, which isn't surprising. We've already predicted that. Let's go ahead and listen to Dana whine and complain and self-flagellate. Flagellate, that means to beat yourself. Self-flagellate and display his false humility everywhere and kind of pretend like, this is a burden that God gave me these dreams and I just have to share them and I wish I didn't have to. This is his attitude. It's so fake. It's so fake. It's so fake. Pseudo. That's the Greek prefix for it. The pseudo prophets, the false prophets. Let's go ahead and listen to him, okay? Because a real prophet of God would not talk like this. Let's go ahead and listen. Here we go. How do I get him up here? There he is. With his finger in his eye. It's a good way to start. All right.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, September 29th. 2 more days, and September's over. And I want to make just a couple.
He's so brilliant.
General statements as I start today. And if you're watching this later, I hope you'll go back and watch.
If you're watching this later, I hope you'll go back and watch.
In the last 3 months, my life has changed a whole lot. We now have a whole lot of security at my house, considering security at the church.
Wow. If you don't want this kind of thing to happen, then don't step out there and start sharing dreams you've made up. I am not in a good mood this morning. Obviously. I have 2 cups of coffee ready to go. I'm not using a straw like I'm supposed to keep my teeth from getting stained. I don't care. I'm just going to drink it. I'll use extra toothpaste for brightening. I'm not in a good mood because watching these prophets, false prophets, one after another, and the same one over and over and over again, and they never, ever, ever, ever repent. Not a single one of them repents. Now, there is a woman who shares dreams, and I've not called her a false prophet, but she shares dreams from God, and she does it regularly. But she has made some mistakes, not in prophesying, but she's made some mistakes in interpretation or by accepting what other people have said, and she has corrected herself on that. She's repented of those things. So praise God that there's one person who's performing a role kind of like a prophet, right? But has repented on some mistakes that they've made. Now, false prophecy is not a mistake. You have to understand that. And many of these fans of theirs want to paint it that way. False prophecy is absolutely not a mistake. When you speak on behalf of the Lord, when you say, God showed me this or God told me this, you are speaking for God. And if it is wrong, you've made God out to be a liar in the case of prophecy. In the case of teaching, you could be wrong. But in the case of prophesying, no. Because you're saying God told you this, God showed you this. And this is predicting that something's going to happen. So, in the case of false teaching, it's a little more ambiguous, but there's still this error involved. And false teaching is almost as bad as false prophecy. False prophecy is worse than false teaching. The false teaching is almost as bad as that. Let's listen to Dana and his whining and complaining about the situation that he created for himself And now he's trying to blame other people for it. Here we go.
Start today. And if you're watching this later, I hope you'll go back and watch. In the last 3 months, my life has changed a whole lot. We now have a whole lot of security at my house, considering security at the church. In just the last 4 weeks, there have been over 60 fraudulent accounts on different aspects of social media put out there in my name. I have never started a YouTube account. That was started by several people.
Not true. His church has a YouTube account. He's a liar. Now, he's right. He may be right. I can't say he's right, but he may be right that he doesn't have a personal account under his name. But there is a church account which has many videos. I've gotten some videos from there. One about his son, who is also now a false teacher. We'll see what he does in terms of false prophecy. So he's lying that he doesn't have a YouTube account. He does have a YouTube account. It's under the church's name. Let's keep going.
46 different Facebook clonings have happened. And the people running those sites have gotten money from people in the amount of over $19,000. I've never asked for money from anybody.
That's not true. He ran a prayer conference shortly after he became famous, and I drew attention to that in the video. And you'll see here that he's going to start preparing to make money, more money.
Running those sites have gotten money from people in the amount of over $19,000.
But let's ask this question. How do we know that it's not your sites? How do we know that? You know, it's one thing to say it, but in the last video, I proved that he is a compulsive liar. And so you have to keep that in mind every time you hear a word come out of his mouth. He's a compulsive liar. I'm not even sure he's aware that he's lying all the time. Sometimes it's obvious he is. But I think that there are a lot of times when he's not even aware that he's lying. And he'll say two opposite things at the same time. In one breath. Here we go.
I've never asked for money from anybody.
Which is a lie right there. The prayer conference was money. He charged for that. So.
But suddenly I started getting...
Not only that, he takes his salary from the church, which makes him a false teacher de facto, according to Peter. Because false teachers, it says, as the false prophets did, so it ties into prophets as well, merchandise you. They merchandise you. They use you to make money. And that's what he's doing when he's taking his salary from those he's ministering to. And any of you out there who are listening to this, if you're selling merch to the people you're ministering to, if you're taking a salary from the people you're ministering to, whether it's through the tithing or just straight from an organization, if you're taking donations, selling merch, taking donations, you've got a Patreon that people go to, any way that you're taking money from those that you're ministering to, you are a false teacher by definition. You need to stop that. You need to stop that. Now, that doesn't mean you can't be supported financially from other Christians, just not the ones that you minister to. Okay? You cannot be supported by those you're ministering to. This is the mark of a false teacher and of the false prophets. So you can't do that. And even if you are teaching what's true, you're still a false teacher by behavior. And John 3 says we're not to imitate evil behavior, but good. Here we go.
Emails from people that are angry, yelling, screaming. I've had phone calls, people cussing me out because the money they sent for an orphanage in India that I was supposedly supporting, they lost it. And I've had to consult with an attorney this week. I've had to start my own LLC. I've had to start making the point that everything I start putting on Facebook as far as the dreams will from now on be copywritten.
Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you the real reason he's doing this. Why would he lawyer up? Why would he lawyer up? What's he going to do? All of these platforms have ways of reporting identity theft. Okay. Did he file a police report on the identity theft? Doesn't mention it at all, but he does mention lawyering up. If he had reported this to the police, he would have said so here, because he mentions lawyering up. So my bet is that he didn't report it to the police. And why didn't he report it to the police? Because he was doing at least some of it. Even if he wasn't, doesn't matter. Why is he lawyering up? What's he going to do with a lawyer? He's going to sue someone over in India? Because if it's a scammer, they're from Nigeria or India. And some of you say, no, probably Ukraine where you are. No. The Ukrainians don't do that. Now the Russians might, but the Ukrainians don't do that. They're too busy programming. They make about 10 times what the average family makes programming. So the average family will make a certain amount. They make 10 times that much by programming. They have no need to do this kind of thing. So I would say India or Nigeria. That's where the scams come from. So what's he going to do? Sue someone in Nigeria? Sue someone in India? No, you got to get a lawyer there. So LLC. Why has he created an LLC? An LLC is a corporate structure to protect you financially from being sued, to protect you from being sued. So he is lawyering up, and he's created an LLC, which indicates only one thing, that he's protecting himself from being sued. All right. Now you say, yeah, but these people are angry at him, thinking that he took their money. Well, if he didn't create those profiles, he has nothing to worry about, because they have to prove that that was him. Just because his name is plastered on it doesn't mean it was him. How many Dana Coverstones are there in the world? Probably not just one. So they'd have to prove that it was him. Even if they used his videos on that profile where they asked for money, they still have to prove that he put those up there. Now, if he put those up there, he definitely needs this protection. But then next question is, why is he copywriting the videos? I'll tell you why he's copywriting the videos. Because of videos like my videos that are calling him out as a false prophet. He wants to have the right to shut these down. He's not going to shut them down. If he wants to, I will go to court with him. And I will get my right reinforced, and then I will get reimbursed by him for the costs and damages. I have fair use right to criticize him publicly. And that's exactly what we're doing and how we're using his videos. So Mr. Coverstone, you can copyright your videos all you want. You can form an LLC to protect your personal finances all you want. You can get a lawyer to lawyer up all you want. It will not stop the word of God from preaching against you and calling you a false prophet. You fake, you fraud. Let's keep going. See what else he says.
Will be supporting. They lost it, and I've had to consult with an attorney this week. I've had to start my own LLC. I've had to start making the point that everything I start putting on Facebook as far as the dreams will from now on be copywritten. I have to take legal ramifications right now. I'm actually going to have to get an attorney on waiver or retainer just because of some of the things that are going on. I'm going to continue to pray every morning. Starting October 1st, I'll be streaming from YouTube the YouTube channel I'm doing, and also my personal page.
See, he's ramping up his social media. Now, someone who has been attacked like what he's described would back off from social media. What does he do? He puts his protections up in place just before he starts an all-out effort to campaign his false prophecy and his false teaching. That's what he's doing. He's going to start streaming. He's going to start every single day on YouTube. Yep. You know where that's headed. That's headed the same direction that a lot of people like him go. Money. Money, money, money. But you have to understand that there are false prophets out there who are not exhibiting this characteristic of money, right? The aspect of greed. For example, Brenda Weltner. But there are other things that you can covet, that you can want more of than just money. Covetousness is not greed. It's not the same thing. Okay? They're not equivalent. Covetousness is a desire to gain more. And you say, but isn't that greed? Well, greed in particular is associated with money. Okay? But covetousness is the driving factor behind a false teacher, just as it was with the false prophets. And that's what makes them merchandise you. And they practice their words. They use fake words, actually, feigned words. With feigned words, they will merchandise you. And so that's what you can, I don't know if you can see this on his face, but you can see this facade, this fakeness in his eyes and the way he does his face, especially his eyes. If you watch his eyes very closely, I don't know how many of you, probably not many of you, have had any experience in interrogating. But in interrogation techniques, some of the things they train you in is reading these factors on the face, especially the eye movement and touching of the face. So there are certain characteristics that give away that someone is being false. And it's written all over his face. All over his face. Now, Brenda Weltner, she has more mannerisms and characteristics to give it away, like her wicked laugh, right? Her demeaning laugh. That's one of the things that she does that gives it away. But with him, it's different. With him, it's his eyes, the way he handles himself. So anyway, he's gearing up. Let's hear how he's gearing up again, just so we don't miss that.
Everything I start putting on Facebook as far as the dreams will from now on be copywritten. It will be... It will, I have to take legal...
Right there. So that was all fake. Him looking up like that was pretending to think. He knew exactly what he was going to say. Okay, you say, but Ron, everyone does that. No, watch the way he does it, though. All right? Watch the way he does it. It's exaggerated. Watch.
Making the point that everything I start putting on Facebook as far as the dreams will from now on be copywritten. It will be, it will, I have to take...
Right there also, right? All right, so, but watch when he's thinking normally.
I've never asked for money from anybody, but suddenly I started getting emails from people that are angry, yelling, screaming. I've had phone calls, people cussing me out because the money they sent for an orphanage in India that I was supposedly supporting, See, right there, that was normal thinking. He just kind of looks over like that to the side real quick, and he goes, and then he continues. That's normal thinking. He already knows what he wants to say there, right? But he's not trying to fake you out with anything there. But watch this. This is where he's pretending to think. Lost it. And I've had to consult with an attorney this week. I've had to start my own LLC. I've had to start making the point that everything I start putting on Facebook as far as the dreams will from now on be copywritten. It will be, I have to take legal ramifications right now. I'm actually going to have to get an attorney on waiver or retainer just because of some of the things that are going on. I'm going to continue to pray every morning. Starting October 1st, I'll be streaming from YouTube, the YouTube channel I'm doing, and also my personal page.
So he has a YouTube channel. He said he didn't have one. He's got a YouTube channel. He's going to be streaming from the YouTube channel and his personal page. Personal page where? On YouTube or on Facebook?
Streaming from YouTube, the YouTube channel I'm doing, and also my personal page. I'm also going to have to privatize my personal page. No longer accept friends on this page because of just some of the absolute heinous things that are being spoken and being said. I've also had a list, probably 400 emails from different people saying, you need to pray about this and pray about this, pray about this. I have prayed and asked the Lord what I should pray about, and that's what I should. I have prayed and asked the Lord what I should.
That's his video. That's not on mine. That's on his. It's not YouTube. It's his video. His camera had some problems.
100 emails from different people saying, you need to pray about this and pray about this, pray about this. I have prayed and asked the Lord what I should pray about.
I've prayed and asked the Lord what I should pray about. What in the world is wrong with him? Really, what is that noise? Does he have geese in there? What is that? It sounds like he's got ducks or geese in the building. And I've prayed to the Lord and asked him what I should pray about. What? What? Is he cuckoo? There's something wrong upstairs. There's something wrong upstairs. I want to hear those noises again.
I've also had a list, probably 400 emails from different people saying, you need to pray about this and pray about this, pray about this. I have prayed and asked the Lord what I should pray about, and that's what we're going to pray about. We're going to pray through Psalm 1.
I've prayed and asked the Lord what I should pray about. That's what we're going to pray about. Okay, how do I know that this isn't a prayer that you're doing right now instead of a video? Or maybe a dream, who knows? Okay.
Also the prayers of Daniel through the end of November at least. I will still be streaming on here as far as the prayer time each morning, all the way through the end of that. But once again, there's been fraudulent activity in my name that was not me. People have given over $19,000 to somebody, most likely from Africa or Central America, saying that they are me, and we're doing a children's home in Jamaica, an orphanage in India, we're digging water wells in Africa, and
cool. You're doing so much, Dana. I know what these are. I've seen these kind of letters. I got a comment on my YouTube channel asking to promote some sort of video that was asking for money. Of course, it doesn't go out.
And something else in Chile. So please understand that those things were not me. I've never asked anybody for money at all.
See, he says, I've never asked anybody for money at all, which isn't true. Let's keep going.
Anyone that's sending money to me, I've never asked for money from anybody. Okay? So I'm just trying to make sure it gets done. I'm also very, very seriously, the brace yourself dream, about the prophetic dreams. A guy who's going to help me in ministry kind of established that. But I'm also seeing
Establish that. Establish what? They were dreams. You put them out there and that's it. Establish what? Some sort of way to monetize them? Some sort of way to get money from people for them? A course in dreams? What's next, Dana?
Incredible amount of chaos. I've had people who want to be my friends that I've confirmed by looking at friend requests that they are Satanists, they're witches, they're New Agers.
Oh, please give me a break. Give me a break. I get this so often from Christians. Oh, a Satanist came and tried to deceive me that they were a Christian. Satanists are not going around pretending to be Christians. Give me a break. He's doing this just to make him seem like the victim. All of this is about, I'm a victim, give me some money. I'm a victim, support my ministry. I'm a victim, take my course. I'm a victim, buy my book. Watch.
They're way off in different places. And so I've got to be...
Hold on a minute. He's saying two different things.
So I'm just trying to make sure it gets done. I'm also very, very seriously, the brace yourself about the prophetic dreams.
Hold on, make sure what gets done.
I've never asked anybody for money at all. And anyone that's sending money to me, I've never asked for money from anybody.
Liar.
Okay? So I'm just trying to make sure it gets done. I'm also very...
Make sure what gets done. Make sure what gets done. I'm just trying to make sure it gets done. That's an appeal that he is a diligent worker. He's very responsible. If he were responsible, this wouldn't have happened. He would have already had someone watching for any new accounts under his name. It's not hard to do. You can set it up so it automatically watches for those things. And as soon as any appear, you go ahead and tag them as identity theft. And they'll take it down. But he wasn't being a responsible pastor. He was being an irresponsible pastor, just like in the videos you see of he and his son dressing up. And you can't tell whether his son is dressing up as a female or a male. Looks like a female, but they're both in bed together. Yep, absolutely. Someone sent me a link to it saying, he dressed up as a woman, which is an abomination in the Old Testament. Not just a sin, an abomination to God. For a man to dress up as a woman, it says. So, or it says in the same verse, or a man to lie with another man as with a woman. And here he and his son are dressed up in wigs. His son has something under his shirt that looks like, fake breasts. And they're in bed together, covered up. They're on the couch, covered up like they're in bed. So, yeah. That's Dana Coverstone for you. I'll show you that one. Okay, so here's some of it for you. So that's his son over here on the right. And that's Dana there on the left with the wig on, of course. His son has a wig on also. That's not his natural hair. And notice he's acting effeminate too, the son. Watch his motions with his hands and his lips and everything. He's behaving effeminately. So my guess is that he's trying to be a woman, a pregnant woman, because he's also got something under his stomach here. You'll see. And notice he's crying. He's crying too. Don't know what that was all about.
And I'm so glad you're back. You floated down the river and they found you in Nashville in the dog pound. They read your tag on your shirt. And they found the number and called me. And we got these dogs because you were in there with them and they didn't bite you or anything. Life's good, man. Yeah.
Huh? What?
Life's good.
Well, I don't know if I'd say life's good. This whole quarantine thing is getting kind of old,
Yeah.
I'm tired of sitting home all day and not being able to go to church or school. Man, speaking of there being no church, when is church supposed to start back, man?
Oh, yeah, man. April 5th, Palm Sunday, unless otherwise notified.
Man, I've got to use the bathroom.
Come back soon, man.
Notice the breasts and the stomach. That's not how he looks. He's a thin, normal size guy.
Oh.
So you can see clearly there that he was supposed to have breasts. Let's see. When he grabs her.
Oh.
See right there. He's supposed to have breasts here and stomach. So clearly he made it so that he would have breasts and his stomach. Dressing like a woman.
Oh, man.
All right, so enough of that. I'm not going to show you more of that stupidity. Where is my Chrome? Okay, there it is. So, Dana, Coverstone, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. I mean, are you really so foolish that you thought that after getting fame that it would be easy? Are you really so foolish that you didn't think that you'd have to have security after getting fame? I mean, and having your son, whether it's his idea or not, you're his dad, having your son commit an abomination against God. Oh, it was just a harmless skit. It was just, lighten up, Ron, lighten up. We're just joking. We're just joking. You think an abomination is a joke? And for those of you who don't know what the Old Testament says about this, I will bring this up and show you. Just so you know these things, I want to show you in the Bible where it says these things. So what we're doing is we're reading the Septuagint. You can see it up. Here. LXX. That's the abbreviation for the Septuagint. This is the Greek Old Testament. This is the oldest Old Testament that we have that was translated by the Jews themselves and was the official version of the Old Testament that was accepted for the Jews who were living abroad all around the Mediterranean. Greek was the universal language as English is now. And so you have the LLX here translated into English in 2012. And we haven't done all of our translation of the Old Testament yet, so we rely on some other translations for that. But we do not rely on the King James. I keep forgetting and going to the King James just by, automatically. So I'm trying to train myself not to do that because they're using the Masoretic text, it's the evil text. It was created to disprove Jesus was the Christ. It was created over a period of about 800 years by a specific school of rabbis who were the ones who crucified Jesus. All right, so let's go ahead and read this. It says right here, the apparel of a man shall not be on a woman, meaning pants, or anything else the man wears, a suit. Neither shall a man put on a woman's dress, for everyone that does these things is an abomination to the Lord your God. This is Yahweh's name here. So the Lord your God. They, not only have they sinned, they have committed an abomination. They are an abomination. For everyone that does these things is an abomination. You commit a sin, but you are an abomination. They are abominable to the Lord. Absolutely revolting. He completely rejects them. All right, let's go to the next one. Leviticus 18:22, and it says, and you shall not lie with a man as with a woman, for it is an abomination. So this time, it doesn't say that the person is the abomination, but the act is the abomination. And you shall not lie with a man as with a woman. Neither shall you lie with a quadruped for copulation. It's very specific. To be polluted with it, that means an animal. Neither shall a woman present herself before any quadruped to have connection with it, for it is an abomination. Do not defile yourselves with any of these things, for in all these things the nations are defiled, which I drive out before you. The nations that are being driven out before the Hebrews defiled themselves with such things, meaning that they knew that it was wrong. God had already testified to those nations that it was wrong, somehow, through their conscience, through nature. And it says, for in all things the nations are defiled, which I drive out before you, and the land is polluted. And I have recompensed their iniquity to them because of it, and the land is aggrieved with them that dwell upon it. Okay? So, and again down here, and lest the land be aggrieved with you, and you're polluting it, as it was aggrieved with the nations before you. For whosoever shall do any of these abominations, the souls that do them shall be destroyed from amongst their people. And you shall keep my ordinances, that you may not do any of the abominable practices which have taken place before your time. And you shall not be polluted in them, for I am the Lord your God. In other words, you commit idolatry by committing these particular abominations. Because he says, for I am the Lord your God. Meaning, if you are going to have me as your God, then you are going to not do these things. And if you do these things, then you are proving that I am not your God. It's idolatry. Okay? Let's go to the next one. Leviticus 20. And whoever shall lie with a male as with a woman, they have both wrought abomination. Let them die the death. They are guilty. They are guilty. So, there you have it. Those are abominations. They're not just sins. They are abominations. And in the case of wearing the clothes, they become the abomination. And here is Dana Coverstone and his son, who are play acting an abomination. So they think. But it says whoever wears is an abomination. Doesn't say why. Doesn't say they have to intend on trying to disguise themselves as a woman. It just says whoever. If a man shall wear, and that's it. Now you say, yeah, but it says a dress. Yeah. But you can see by context that it doesn't mean just a dress. It means dressing as a woman. So here's the problem, is that they think that because they're joking about it, they're not going to be held accountable for it. But because they are joking about it, they're making people laugh about it, and they're making people, even though they're making fun of it, they are bringing it in as an acceptable practice within that context. They're saying it's okay to dress as a woman as long as you're joking about it. Is it? Do you think that's not as abominable to God as someone who's trying to disguise themselves as a woman? You're still dressing as a woman. You are still an abomination to God because of that. Dana Coverstone has no conscience about these things. No conscience about them. Not only have I proven that he's a liar, in the previous video, constantly he's lying. You can see, I stop it and I point it out. And there's no argument about it. There's no discussion to be had about it. Because it's absolutely clear when I stop the video and I show it and I replay it and I say and I replay and I replay and I replay the two parts, and you can see he's lying. He says two things that directly contradict each other. Not only once, throughout the video. He is a liar, habitual liar, compulsive liar. Not only that, he has no conscience about the abominations to God. Which brings me to the next point, is that he doesn't know God. If he knew God, he would keep God's commandments. But he doesn't know God. How do you know that he doesn't keep God's commandments? Ron, how dare you accuse a pastor of that? I've already proven he's a liar. And you know what it says about liars. Shall I show you again? Here we go. Revelation 21. But the fearful and unbelieving and the abominable. The abominable. Got it? Those who are abominations. And murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars. All liars. You, me, whoever is a liar who does not repent is a liar. Whoever is abominable who does not repent is abominable. When they make an excuse saying, oh, it's just a joke, we were only joking, they're not repenting. They have not repented of that abomination. And therefore, this applies to them. But the abominable and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. This is the irrevocable judgment of the damned. These are the special categories of those. It says, he that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his God, and he shall be my son. Only he who overcomes. He who overcomes shall inherit all things, and I will be his God, and he will be my son. He who overcomes. If you do not overcome, you are not God's son. If you do not overcome, God is not your God. If you do not overcome, you shall not inherit all things. Instead, your part, your inheritance, is the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, the lake of burning sulfur, which is the second death. This is the final punishment that lasts forever. You will never escape from. There will never be any repentance from this one. So Dana, if you're listening, repent of your abominations and plead with your son to repent of his abomination. Stop lying. Tell the truth and stop lying. You can tell the truth and lie both at the same time. Amazing how that works, isn't it? But you're still a liar. Stop lying and repent of your lies. And forever tell the truth. Let's get back to Dana and hear what else he has to say. Here we go. Oh, we're back at the beginning. Let me put us back to where we were. Okay, this is pretty close. Here we go.
At all. And anyone that's sending money to me, I've never asked for money from anybody. Okay? So I'm just trying to make sure it gets done. I'm also very, very seriously, the brace yourself dream, about the prophetic dreams. A guy who's going to help me in ministry kind of established that. But I'm also
a guy who helps me in ministry is going to establish that, meaning they're going to make a product from it. And you'll hear it later here. He's complaining because someone beat him to the punch and I was already selling it on DVD. That's where he got the idea from, probably, is that he heard that his dreams were being sold on DVD, and he's like, well, hey, hold on a minute. We got to do that. Let's go ahead and let's lawyer up. Let's get our LLC in place so we can sell it under the LLC. That protects me in case I say something in the dreams or in the videos, and someone takes it wrong and kills himself. Or someone thinks Jesus is coming back and sells their land, and then Jesus doesn't come back, and then they're going to sue me for the land that they sold based on my dreams. This is not the first time this has happened. You can go back in history, and I'll do that. I started to make a video on this of every occurrence, famous occurrence at least, of the prediction of Jesus' return. And of course, not the least famous was the Jehovah's Witnesses, repeatedly. This is how the Jehovah's Witnesses really got their bad name, was that they kept saying the end of the world is here, right? And so all their members would sell all their land, and then it didn't happen. And so they would be upset. They'd win more converts. They'd sell all their land. Didn't happen. So, all right, that's what Dana Coverstone's getting ready to do here. Not to sell his land or ask you to sell his land, although he might. He might get to that point. He's headed down that road. And every one of these pastors They think, oh, I'm not going to go down that road. I'm different. You're not different. You got 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth. You got arms and legs. Not so much hair. Join the club. But you're a human being. And you're going to go down the same road that all the others went down when you step onto that road. And you've stepped onto that road. When you announced those dreams, you stepped onto that road. When you made those false prophecies, you stepped onto that road. And I don't see that you stepped off of that road. Instead, you're going down that road. Exactly the way that every man and woman before you who's gone down to destruction at the end of that road has gone down that road. You're going the same steps. There's no difference. As for those of you who are listening, besides Dana, those of you who are listening, take warning. Do not imitate this man or anything that he does. He's completely corrupt. Do not listen to him. Do not imitate him. Don't. Look at those who are really following the Lord and obeying the Lord. I mean obeying the Lord. Obeying the Lord. Not those who are trying to make money. Those who are obeying the Lord. Who are ministering without charge. Who have no dreams of starting an LLC and making DVDs of their dreams. No. Let's listen to what else he has to say.
Also seeing an incredible amount of chaos. I've had people who want to be my friends that I've confirmed by looking at friend requests that they are Satanists, they're witches.
Liar, liar, liar. You're trying to make yourself out to be the victim so that people have more sympathy for you. This is the oldest ploy in the book of scam artists. It's the oldest trick in the book. Make yourself out to be the victim while you're trying to victimize the flock. This is the wolf in sheep's clothing. That's what Jesus meant. The wolf in sheep's clothing makes themselves look like the victim, like the one who needs help and protection and everything, so that they can then devour you. That's what it literally means, the wolf in sheep's clothing. That's exactly what he's doing right now. Okay? Now, there may be a Satanist or two. There might be a witch or two. There might be 5 witches, maybe a coven of witches. Who knows? Maybe he's a witch. I don't know. Maybe he's a Satanist. He did put horns on this altar. Who knows? What good Bible-believing Christian do you know who puts horns on an altar that they pray at? If you remember when Moses came down from the mountain, Moses didn't tell them to make a golden calf, did he? There was a golden calf involved, but it was Aaron, and it was an idol, and it had horns. Yeah. Let's listen to what else he has to say.
Want to be my friends that I've confirmed by looking at friend requests that they are Satanists, they're witches, they're New Agers, they're way off in different places. And so I've got to be real careful. So yes, there is a new YouTube account that's starting actually today. I'll be posting a dream that I've had this week about noon. It's not going to be live. It'll be posted to that Facebook page. The link is on my page, my Facebook page. Please go on. Please subscribe. And once again, the subscription thing is not about trying to make money.
Really? Subscribe means money. He's lying again. He's always lying. He's always lying. I told you, I warned you in the first video that he would start charging money. Not only that, we found that he had a prayer conference that he charged that failed. I mean, he made almost, I don't even know if he actually made any money off of it, but he charged money for it. He tried. And now he's going for the subscription route with YouTube, probably because his advisor, the tech advisor, who's going to help him with ministry things, said, this is the first step. This is the way to go.
The link is on my page, my Facebook page. Please go on. Please subscribe. And once again, the subscription thing is not about trying to make money. You may eventually see a PayPal account on there because there's a chance now I'm going to be sued by some people because so-called they thought I was asking for money and it wasn't me. But nonetheless,
someone was posing as me, asking for money, but it wasn't me, and I might get sued for it, so therefore I'm going to ask for money. Now, how does that make it right? How does that make it right? Oh, someone else asked for money from you, and I'm jealous of them, so therefore I'm going to ask you for money so I get money from you instead of them. And they were using my name to do it, and therefore that was wrong. That's illegal. It's identity theft, and therefore it's right for me to start asking for money. It doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it right at all. Oh, but I've got lawyer fees I'm going to have to pay because, I'm going to be sued for this. Oh, really? How are they going to successfully sue you unless you actually did it? And if you actually did it, then you should pay for your lawyer fees, not the people that you're supposed to be ministering to. It doesn't matter how you slice it. It still comes up with him being a scam artist and false, a liar. It doesn't matter how you slice it. The same thing is still the same result. It's still the same result. If he didn't commit those atrocities, and the people who lost money come after him to sue him, he has nothing to worry about. They have to prove that it was him. If they can't prove it was him, then he cannot be successfully sued. That's it. End of story. If they successfully prove it was him, then it was him. And therefore he needs to pay restitution. Now, if the people gave the money freely to him, right? If he defrauded them, then not only does he owe the money back, but he needs to be arrested and put into prison. Dead serious about it. I don't care who you are, Pope, President, Pastor. If you defraud someone, you should go to prison. And we know what will happen to liars. If you didn't know it before, you know it now. Revelation 21, the lake of burning sulfur, all liars. Doesn't matter if you're Pope, President, or Pastor. All liars are in the lake of burning sulfur. All liars.
PayPal will help to get some money. You may eventually see a PayPal account on there because there's a chance now I'm going to be sued by some people because so-called they thought I was asking for money and it wasn't me. But nonetheless.
That nonetheless is the most fake movement that you'll see in this video. Now he's got his lip under his tongue, another very, very, very clear sign of a person who's lying. Okay? They're biting their lip. Watch.
Count on there because...
That's another one right there where he tilts his head down and looks like this. Okay? This is all fake. It's all show.
The link is on my page, my Facebook page. Please go on. Please subscribe. And once again, the subscription thing is not about trying to make money. You may eventually see a PayPal account on
right there where he's tilting his head down going like that.
There because
fraud.
There's a chance now I'm going to be sued by some people because so-called they thought I was asking for money and it wasn't me. But nonetheless.
Right there. But nonetheless. That's absolutely 100% fraud. That movement there with the face was 100% fraud. Okay?
Be sued.
I was an analyst in the military intelligence.
By some people because so-called they thought I was asking for money and it wasn't me. But nonetheless, PayPal will help to get some podcast equipment, some other things like that. And that will also be in an LLC that, once again, I've had to make a lot of changes legally, financially, business-like.
Yeah, of course you have, because you were heading that way to begin with. You liar. You absolute liar. Oh, I need PayPal. He didn't say for legal reasons. He said for podcasts and equipment.
About trying to make money. You may have... And once again, the subscription thing is not about trying to make money.
Not about trying to make money. It's about getting you to pay for my equipment. How's that not making money? Okay, let's keep going.
You may eventually see a PayPal account on there
It's not about making money, but you may eventually see a PayPal account on there. It says the subscription is one little lie into a bigger lie, into a bigger lie, into a bigger lie. Watch this. It's like a funnel. He's a marketing genius. Okay, here we go. So he thinks. Watch.
Please go on. Please subscribe.
He's only talking about subscribing right now, right? Not that there's necessarily a fee to it yet, right? But listen.
And once again, the subscription thing is not about trying to make money.
The subscription thing is not about trying to make money. Relax. I'm not going to ask you for money. That's what you read from that, right? But what he's literally doing is he's trying to cover his butt because in the next few seconds, he's going to say that he's going to be asking you for money. Because at the beginning, he's trying to make it look like I'm not going to be asking you for money, because that's how you hear it when you hear it. The subscription thing is not about making money, which sounds like, okay, he's not going to ask for money. That's what any normal human being would think. Let's see what he says immediately after that, though.
Please go on. Please subscribe. And once again, the subscription thing is not about trying to make money. You may eventually see a PayPal account on there.
Why would you have a PayPal account on there if it's not about making money? If you're not going to ask for money? What's the PayPal account for then? It's to ask for money. So he just lied. He says it's not about making money, but you may eventually see a PayPal on there. Oh, don't worry. Don't worry. It's not about making money. And now he's going to try to make it look like what he meant by that isn't that he's not going to charge you. Isn't that he's not going to ask you for money. He is going to ask you for money. He's going to let you know that. Indirectly, he's going to let you know that I'm going to ask you for money. I am going to be charging you. But I'm not going to be making a profit off of it. That's what he meant by this. It's not about making money, right? But making money isn't about profit. Making money is about getting money from someone else. And you say, but Ron, no, it's about making money off of the venture. Yeah, it can be about that too. But that's not how he started. He says, you'll see a subscribe button, but it's not about making money, which means you're not going to be charged. Right? You're not going to be asked for money. But you might see a PayPal account on there eventually, meaning right now I'm not going to ask you for money, but in the future, yeah, of course I am. Let's see what he has to say about it.
Trying to make money. You may eventually see a PayPal account on there because there's a chance now.
Because I'm going to ask you for money. I'm not going to ask you for money right now, but I'm going to ask you for money. So don't worry. Don't worry. Just relax right now. And get ready because I'm going to ask you for money. Just don't worry. There's no PayPal up there right now. But there will be. I will ask you for money eventually. But not right now. Don't worry. Relax. It's not about making money. Serious? That's what he's doing.
Today I'll be posting a dream that I've had this week about noon. It's not going to be live. It'll be posted to that Facebook page. The link is on my page, my Facebook page. Please go on. Please subscribe. And once again, the subscription thing is not about trying to make money. You may eventually see a PayPal account on there because...
What a liar.
There's a chance now I'm going to be sued by some people.
So he's implying that he's going to need some money using PayPal and the subscription thing to pay for his legal expenses. That's what I got out of it.
Because... there's a chance now I'm going to be sued by some people because so-called they thought I was asking for money and it wasn't me. But nonetheless.
Yeah, but nonetheless. Even though he said that's the thing that instigated him doing all this stuff. But he brushes it off like, but nonetheless. But I'll be a brave soldier and I'll eat it up and you don't have to help me. You don't have to help me. I'm just a victim. You don't have to help me. I'm just a pastor. You don't have to help me. I'm just getting dreams from God. You don't have to help me. I'm being attacked by people, but you don't have to help me. People are taking advantage of me in my name, and I'm getting sued for it, but you don't have to help me. That's what he's doing. Every little thing is like this. I'm trying to amplify it so you can see what's going on, okay? Because to someone with interrogation techniques, it's obvious, okay? To an analyst, it's obvious. To criminal psychologists, it's absolutely obvious. Let's keep watching.
PayPal account on there because
we're going slow because I'm trying to focus in on one thing after another because he goes in a very fast stream here, and you wouldn't see it if you just watched it.
There's a chance now I'm going to be sued by some people because so-called they thought I was asking for money and it wasn't me. But nonetheless.
Okay.
PayPal will help to get some podcast equipment.
Now he's saying PayPal is not going to help with the legal fees. It's going to help with getting podcast equipment.
Money, that wasn't me, but nonetheless. PayPal will help to get some podcast equipment, some other things like that.
Some other things like that. Some podcast equipment. Well, that's pretty generic anyway. You know, what podcast equipment? You talking about a microphone? You're talking about a camera? A camera for a podcast. Podcasts aren't cameras. It's just audio. What do you need a camera for? Now, if you're going to put a YouTube video up showing you doing the podcast, that's not a podcast. That's a video. That's not a podcast. What equipment do you need for podcast? You need a microphone. That's it. You obviously have a computer or a phone or something. So you need a microphone. That's it. Look at this. This cost me $10. Bought it at a gas station. Actually, this one I got at Target for $7. It was on sale. My blue ones that you see me wearing sometimes, those I got for $10 at a gas station. They're the same brand. Very cheap. That's what it costs this year. My microphone, it's an $80 microphone. I got it for, I think, $20. Computer recycle place where I often took my computer and electronic stuff, and he happened to have one and I bought it, and it works beautifully, and it's the brand that I was looking for. Not the model, but the brand. And there you go. You know? I mean, and my camera, it cost maybe $150 at most. It's a business webcam. So for under $200, I'm up and running. So what do you need to be charging through PayPal for podcast equipment? Yeah? What do you need to be doing that for? Why would you need an LLC for doing podcasts? What are you going to be saying?
And that will also be in an LLC that, once again, I've had to make a lot of changes legally, financially, business-like.
Legally, financially, business-like. Well, hold on. Legal, finance, business. Those all have an intersection right there together. So this isn't about people trying to sue him. No, legal, business, finance, all three of those together, because he mentions all those in one breath, and only those. I've had to make a lot of changes. Of course he has, because he's gearing up for a campaign to try to make money, to try to capitalize off of his dreams. Absolutely, and you'll hear it.
Of all the things that are going on. When you see
and he wants you to think that when he says because of all the things that are going on, he's ambiguous for a reason. He's ambiguous to try to get you to think something different than what he means. What he means is the business financial thing that he's launching with the LLC, which is to create the podcast, to monetize the dreams, right, and start making this into an industry. Whereas he wants you to think that it was because of the people who lost money from those fake accounts, who would have to prove it in court in order to be able to successfully sue him. And if he didn't do it, then they can't prove it. There's no way of proving it if he didn't do it. They can't prove that he did it if he didn't do it in this case, because you can absolutely get the records. You can absolutely get the records. So, all right, let's have it.
Actually, business-like, because of all the things that are going on. When you see the videos on Facebook from now on, they will be branded. There will be a logo on there. Why am I doing this? Because people are selling my dreams. They're putting them on DVDs and selling them to people. There are people that are transcribing the dreams and selling them to people. I have given permission to nobody.
See, that's what I was saying. He got this idea. Hey, they're making money off my dreams. They're putting them on DVD and they're transcribing them. He says transcribing. I think what he means is burning them onto the DVDs. Lord. Okay, so here he is seeing an opportunity that other people are making money off of from his materials. They're not God's materials. If they were God's materials, he wouldn't be trying to copyright them or make money off them. They would be public property. Yeah. So here he is. He sees an opportunity. He sees that other people are getting money from the things that he's made up for sure, and he wants a piece of the pie. He wants a piece of that pie. That's why he's made an LLC. That's why he's made these changes with finance and business and et cetera, right? No, that's what he's doing. It's clear as day.
Doing this because people are selling on Facebook. From now on, they will be
branded. They will be branded. Why do you need to brand them? Why do you need to brand them? What is the purpose for branding them? It doesn't make any sense. It's only for making it look more official and promotional that he can promote it and people will trust it more. He's not trying to keep people from getting it by branding it because they can still get it anyway. It doesn't matter. And they'll still post it up even if it's branded. Who cares? There are things that are branded all the time that are posted up. And you have complete legal right to do so. There's nothing you can do against that.
There will be a logo on there. Why am I doing this? Because people are selling my dream.
Why am I doing this? Listen. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing these things? He tells you right here in your face. He says, why am I doing this? This is exactly why he's doing it. Listen very clearly. Forget everything else you heard so far because it's all smoke and mirrors. He's going to tell you right to your face why he's doing it. And they do this all the time. And they do it in the midst of all this muddle and confusion, this distractions and diversions so that you walk away with mostly you walk away with all this. You forget what he told you right to your face directly. And then later he can say, well, I told you. I told you in plain language what I'm doing. So why are you acting like you didn't know? That's what they do. Okay? All right, let's hear this again.
But from now on, they will be branded.
Yeah, we heard that.
There will be a logo on there. Why am I doing this? Because people are selling my dreams. They're putting them on DVD.
Right there. Why am I doing this? Because people are selling my dreams. People are selling my dreams. Notice he doesn't call them God's dreams. He calls them my dreams. People are selling my dreams. They're putting them on DVDs. They're putting my dreams on DVDs. They're putting my dreams
there. Why am I doing this? Because people are selling my dreams. They're putting a logo on there. Why am I doing this? Because people are selling my dreams. They're putting them on logo on there. Why am I doing this? Because people are selling my dreams. They're putting them on DVDs and selling them to people. Why am I doing this? Because people are selling my dreams. They're putting them on DVDs and selling them to people. There are people that are transcribing the dreams and selling them to people.
You got it? I played it enough times. Okay? Why is he doing this? Making an LLC, lawyering up, changing his life around business and finance and stuff. Why is he doing this? Because people are selling his dreams, putting them on DVDs and selling them.
Given permission to nobody to do this.
Yeah, you're taking my money. I didn't give you permission to take my money. You know that I could make off of this. That's what he's saying. That's the context. That's what he's saying.
So there are people out there that are making money off of these things.
Right there. He comes back to the money issue. I told you. That's what it's about. Listen.
To do this. So there are people out there that are making money off of these things. There are people that are transcribing the dreams and selling them to people. I have given permission to nobody to do this. So there are people out there that are making money.
I've given permission to nobody to do this. So there are people out there making money off of this, right?
Off of these things.
Off of these things. I've given them permission. I've given nobody permission to do this. To do what? To make money off of these things. I haven't given you permission to make money off my dreams, my dreams. I haven't given you permission. I've given nobody permission to make money off of my dreams. That's what he's saying. Got it?
To do this. So there are people out there that are making money off of these things. I just figured God's going to get them, and that's all right.
God's going to get them, and that's all right. I just figured God's going to get him, and that's all right. I'm not going to get them for this. I'm not going to get him back for this. So he's not going to take him to court, or he's not going to shut them down by reporting them as identity thefts, identity thieves. He's not going to tell Facebook. He's not going to tell YouTube, shut these guys down. It's a fraudulent account pretending to be me. He's not going to contact PayPal. PayPal will shut them down in a heartbeat and take the money back. He's not going to stop them. Tell me why he's not going to stop them. There's only one reason. No, there could be two. One is that Dana Coverstone is 100% pure evil. And he wants to encourage people who are taking advantage of people, even if he's not making a profit off of it, which is even more evil than him wanting to make a profit off of it. I don't think that's the case. I think that the lesser evil is the case that is still evil. Is that Dana Coverstone is the one behind at least some of these accounts. And he didn't want to blow the lid off of it by going after only certain accounts. Because if there are 46 accounts that are fraudulent and he goes after 36 of them, that means 10 of them are his. And then it exposes him. So that's what the legal counsel was about, I'll bet. Let's go.
But I just want everyone watching me today to note before we pray, people are taking advantage of this, and I want to make the biggest difference I can for the Lord.
I want to make the biggest difference I can for the Lord. Why? How? By promoting your own dreams as if they are prophecy? This is not making, you're making the biggest difference there for the Lord, but not for him, against him. Dana Coverstone, you are really making God mad. Will you never stop? I've been laughing and chuckling and I mean, I'm absolutely flabbergasted on the one hand. On the other hand, I'm absolutely not surprised. I'm flabbergasted that you've got such gall to do this so obviously. I mean, and the people buy it, but they desire to be deceived in the heart. They desire it. And I said before this, it's like with the porn industry, right? And men going and searching out porn movies. They don't just stumble upon them. And even if one does happen to come up, there's no one forcing your hand to click on it. But the fact that these men are going and looking, they're going and searching for these things. They know exactly where to go. I'm not going to mention any of the places where they go, but they go. And they go on purpose to fulfill the lusts. That's the same thing with these people who are deceived by people such as Dana Coverstone, this false prophet here. They desire in their hearts to be deceived, and they're looking for it. They're looking for someone to deceive them. And usually it's in the form of entertainment, something that's titillating, that's exciting, that's interesting, but still is Christian, right? John Darby is not Christian. Dispensationalism is not Christian. This is a modern invention out of thin air. This is pre-tribulation rapture. This is not a concept of the church. This is John Darby trying to apply scientific humanism to the Bible in the vein of the Protestant Reformation. Because all of them who started the Protestant Reformation, except Luther, were famous humanists. Humanism believed that with the power of the mind, observing, distinguishing, and judging without intervention from God, that we could evaluate correctly, make correct judgments without intervention from God. And that's what John Darby did. He went to the scriptures and he tried to tie things together, ignore other things, and came up with this whole system. So, back to Dana Coverstone. He won't stop. He's full of this covetousness, this feigned words, these fake words. You can see it. Moment. Yeah, so he's full of these fake words, these feigned words. You can see it. It's very obvious. Let's keep going.
I want the Spirit to use me. I want everyone watching me today to note before we pray, people are taking advantage of this, and I want to make the biggest difference I can for the Lord. I want the Spirit to use me. I want to be able to communicate with people, but I'm very, very frustrated by what's happened. I have now the phone.
That's his video.
The phone rang in our church yesterday, just about a little over 200 times, and probably not had a good full day off in about a month. So I'm just trying to get some things lined up. I've got to
victim. Woe is me. Woe is me. Too many phone calls to the church. We don't know what to do about all these phone calls to the church. We have no idea about technology. We don't know anyone who knows anything about technology. We don't know anyone who can take care of our phone problems. Help us, help us, help us. I haven't had a day off in a month. Oh. Dana, don't you have a pair? I think you know what I'm talking about. Aren't you a man? Step up and do something. But he knows what he's supposed to do. He's just using this. He's milking it so that we can have sympathy for him. So that's the purpose. That's the sole purpose of it. Why would he tell you that he hasn't had a day off in a month? Are you his best friend? You're an anonymous person behind a screen. No.
Protect my name, my reputation. A month. So I'm just trying to get some things lined up. I've got to protect my name.
I'm just trying to get some things lined up. Another one of these little phrases to let you know, because that's coming from his head, to let you know he's trying to get things lined up so that he can start making money off of it. That's what this whole thing has been about.
Probably not had a good full day off in about a month. So I'm just trying to get some things lined up. I've got to protect my name, my reputation, but I've also got to take care of my family.
I've got to protect my name and my reputation. How is giving false dreams protecting your name and your reputation? Huh? Tell me that. How is lying protecting your name and your reputation? Coming on and doing these videos just exposed your sin. That's not protecting your name and your reputation. That's trying to prepare to launch a business, which you just registered, an LLC, a couple of weeks ago. Now he says protect his family.
Trying to get some things lined up. I've got to protect my name, my reputation, but I've also got to take care of my family. And
he didn't say protect. He says take care of his family, meaning provide for them. He needs money to provide for his family, is what he's saying. What, getting your salary at the church isn't enough? Why not just stop doing the dreams? Why not just stop putting the videos up? Stop telling the world about your dreams. Tell your church about your dreams. Stop trying to be some sort of superstar. It's not rocket science, and you know that. You know that's an option. Tell me why he doesn't stop. If he has so many problems from it, how come he doesn't stop? If he stopped, all the problems would go away. If someone tried to sue him saying, well, you're doing this online, he could say, no, I have no presence online anymore. I did, but I don't. And anyway, you have to prove that it was me doing those. I didn't do those. And the fact that he would quit all of his social media and stop publishing these would go a long way in those lawsuits to prove that he had no interest in making money online. But the fact that he's continuing and he's ramping up his efforts absolutely 100% proves that that is his intention. Let's keep going.
And no one's going to have to pay. No one's going to have to pay anything. I'm just saying that you may see a PayPal link on my YouTube account, so I can get...
I'm not kidding. I didn't jump. I didn't jump back to where he was mentioning. He went in from talking about taking care of his family to this, right?
Whole day off in about...
Those are his thoughts.
So I'm just trying to get some things lined up. I've got to protect my name, my reputation, but I've also got to take care of my family. And no one's going to have to pay. No one's going to have to pay anything. I'm just saying that you may see a PayPal link on my YouTube account, so I can get some equipment, things like that.
He's such a big liar. He says, no one's going to have to pay. No one's going to have to pay anything, nothing. No one's going to have to pay anything. But you might see a PayPal account show up on it, and I need to get some equipment for my podcasting and stuff. So, no one's going to have to pay anything, but, please pay. I'm a victim. I haven't had a day off. I have to help my family out. I have to protect my name and my reputation. I might get sued because I refuse to stop this stuff on the internet. So help me continue the stuff on the internet and protect myself so I can continue to share my dreams and forget about what God says. That's what he just said. Okay.
You may see a PayPal link on my YouTube account, so I can get some pay off in about a month. So I'm just trying to get some things lined up. I've got to protect my name, my reputation, but I've also got to take care of my family. And no one's going to have to pay. No one's going to have to pay anything. I'm just saying that you may see a PayPal link on my YouTube account so I can get some equipment, things like that are going on, because I've had to get an LLC to take care of the incredible amount of people who are trying to take advantage of using my videos. Once again, there's just...
How does an LLC... I'm a business professional, okay? Many of you don't know what I do for work. I'm a business professional. I own a few companies, okay? That's what I do for work. My second company that I started was business consulting firm in Europe that Merck Pharmaceuticals, Avon, Nestle, and Sony are my clients. Okay? I know something about business. And he didn't start his LLC for what he's saying he started his LLC for. You don't start an LLC for that. All right, listen again.
I'm just saying that you may see a PayPal link on my YouTube account so I can get some equipment, things like that.
Such a liar.
Going
Such
on,
a liar.
Because I've had to get an LLC to take care of the incredible amount of people who are trying to take advantage of using my videos. Once again,
no, because if someone else is selling your videos, then that's on them. You don't need any protection in that case. You don't need an LLC. You don't need to incorporate. You don't need any kind of corporation. LLC is limited liability corporation, okay? And it protects your personal finances in the case that you are sued, okay? For doing business, for you doing business. If he didn't do the business, he has no exposure. So he has no need to form an LLC. The only reason he needs to form an LLC is to protect himself in transactions that he conducts. It doesn't protect you against previous transactions at all either. So this has nothing to do with what's gone before. This is only about what's going to happen in the future. If you form an LLC today, it will not protect you against anything that was done before today at all, because it didn't exist. It is a legal entity. And it didn't exist before today. So he formed it to protect himself in the future against being sued for transactions he conducts. It doesn't protect him from transactions that someone else conducts because there's no need for protection. There's no fault in that case when someone else is conducting those transactions that is not connected with his company. Right? Now, if they're connected with his company, then yes, he shares some blame, some fault. And then, yes, he should then have to go to court and could be sued. And an LLC would be a way to shield himself against that, but only for future transactions. So this is 100% about him starting a business, and he's going to start getting money from it. I believe that at first he's not going to charge for it, right? He's going to just try to get people to volunteer, and people will. There are a lot of people out there who are deceived. Even people who are watching this video right now, they probably haven't made it this far into the video, but a lot of them drop off after 10 minutes if they're not sincerely following the Lord, because they're not interested in truth. They just want to view a few minutes of it and then bash me for it, right? So that's what they're here for. Anyway, let's hear a little bit more. There's too much. We're not going to cover all of it. It's only 15 minutes, but you see how I talk in between, all right, to cover what needs to be covered.
Over 60 fake accounts. They have scammed people out of over $19,000 and trying to make money in that name. I'm a pastor. I serve my church. I get paid by my church, and I get a lot of letters every day.
If you get paid by your church and you're bragging about that I'm okay, I don't need money, then why are you saying that you need to provide for your family in this also? As an excuse for why you need to have the PayPal account up. That was one of the two reasons. One was for podcast equipment. The other one was because he has a family he has to provide for. He says, I have to take care of my family.
My church, and I get a lot of letters every day. I got about 100 pieces of mail yesterday declaring I'm a false prophet, false pastor.
Because you are. Why is he complaining about that? Because you are. You are literally a false prophet.
Somebody even said they wish I just drank some strychnine and ask God to get me over it, and if not, they'd love to watch that. That's the kind of stuff.
Oh, come on. Come on. Even if someone said that, why would you say that on this video? The only reason is to garner pity. If you're really a man, if you're really a pastor, you're not going to say that kind of thing on this video. You realize that 1 out of 10 people are crazy. So on average, 1 out of 10 letters is going to say something of a crazy person. Even if they use religious words, Christian words even, it's like you using the word prayer. We're going to pray. We're going to pray. We still have we got 9 minutes left of this video. And you're already telling us that when we pray, you're dropping these key things to try to make it sound like you're good and like you're on God's side. But people pray to other gods too. People pray to idols. People pray in their own imagination. That's it. And never pray to God. So just saying we're going to pray doesn't mean anything, Dana.
Yeah, but I get a whole lot more positive things, letters, phone calls, encouragement.
If you get so many more positive, encouraging things, why are you complaining? What is wrong with you, man? Either you have no room to complain and you're just a complainer, or you're a liar and you're not getting all this positive encouragement. Which is it? Are you a grumbler and complainer? Or are you a liar? Either way, it doesn't look good for you. Either way, it doesn't look good for you, Dana. You're either a grumbler or a complainer, because if you have so many good things and you keep talking about all the bad things that are happening to you, you're a grumbler or a complainer. You're magnifying the bad things. If you have so many good things happening, you're a grumbler or complainer. And if you're not a grumbler or complainer and you really do have these things happening to you and not a lot more positive things like you just claimed, then you are a liar. Either way, it's not good for you.
So thank you so much for your prayers and your encouragement and your support.
Sorry, you don't have ours.
There's just a lot of changes that I have to make for security, and a lot of
his video again.
I would just I want to do my best to get things, do it right. Do it right.
Do what right? Business right. Translate that as business. Do it right. That's the only thing he's been talking about. He's mentioned security, but he hasn't really mentioned anything about that. He says he's increased security at the church and at his home. Okay, all right. But this isn't about doing that right. He's mentioned security again to try to distract you again from what he's talking about. The whole theme of this is business. All of it's about business and money. Listen again. Everything that we've been talking about is about business and money. Business and money. Business and money. Business and money. It's what it's about. He is upset because people are making money off of his dreams that he published in video format. He's upset about that, and he wants to capture that money, even if it has to start out as donations. He wants to capture that money. And he realizes that donation model will work because a lot of the false teachers make millions of dollars off of donation model. So he knows it will work. He doesn't really have the personality to pull it off. He'll get pocket change out of it. He may get maybe he'll get to the $100,000 range. But unless he hires someone to transform his presentation, if he does that, then that could work. But I'm not going to coach you, Dana, on what to do. But you're going to end up there anyway. You're going to go down that road, And when it all crashes around you, you're going to be on your knees begging and crying to God to forgive you. We'll see if he forgives you or not. It may be too late by then. You may not even believe your repentance. That's why you don't go down those roads. Because you end up making yourself not even believe that you're repentant. And if you don't believe it, God's not going to believe it.
Okay. Our focus today
is money. That's what it was, money.
Is praying that the heart of every believer has a heart for the lost. We cannot really say that we're Christians unless we are concerned about the lost, unless we're willing to do everything we can to reach the lost around us. And so that's the heart today. And I'm going to ask you folks to pray with me for the ones that defrauded people out of money. Pray that God gets a hold of them. Pray that God kind of smacks them.
You're going, Ron, why are you laughing? I'm the analyst, right? And I've got some experience in this area where I recognize when someone, all right, so someone kills someone, right? The police come, they start questioning them. That person who killed the other person is usually, almost always, the one who is most helpful, offering help, whatever I can do to help, to figure out who killed this person. They think that by doing that, they're diverting attention from themselves. But professionals see so many cases of the same thing over and over again. And like I said, Dana, you're a human being. You are no different than anyone else. And you're doing it exactly the same way as everyone else who's come before you has done it. And I've seen many, many, many cases. You offering to, let's pray for those people who have been defrauded by these wicked people who are defrauding people, while you yourself are really the defrauder. Smoke and mirrors, diversions, diversionary tactics. This diversionary tactics, trying to get your attention off of him, thinking he's a good guy because he can't be a fraud because he's against frauds. How could he be a fraud? He's against frauds. That's the game he's playing. It's a child's game. It's how children deal with things when they get caught. They try to make it look like they're against whatever they did. Yeah. It's like a sex offender being against sex offense, right? And you've got that kind of thing that happens. It's like the man who pretends like he's a feminist just so he can get closer to women so that he might get a chance at having sex with them. Yeah, there was a case of that where the guy tried to rape one of the feminists, and he was trusted among them because he was a male feminist. It happens all the time. You make people believe that you're against it, therefore they're not going to look at you for the crime, to be the thing that you're against. After all, how could someone be against the very thing that they are? Happens all the time. It's the simplest diversionary tactic, and kids do it all the time. I think that's enough of Dana today. Okay, let me just change the screen here a minute and talk to you. So, okay, so just to summarize here, Dana is a fraud on top of being a false prophet, which is no surprise. If he's going to be a fraud with prophecy, well, then what's stopping him from being a fraud with other things? And his focus on money, 2 Peter 2:3, Go read it in the King James, or if you can access the Greek or some interlinear, or you can go look at the rooted word. 2 Peter 2:3. Out of covetousness with feigned words they will merchandise you. Talking about false teachers who are like the false prophets, it says. So Dana Coverstone is only being true to his nature. He is a wolf in sheep's clothing. End of story. Stay away from him. Don't listen to him. Don't go around, promoting his name by talking about him. Okay? We're doing it here on this channel so that you can be educated about how false prophets function and to see the progression here, at least for some time. I'm not going to continue to dwell on them forever, but I'll make a few videos like I have with Brenda Weltner. Stay away from these false prophets. Stay close to the Lord. Stay close to teachers who you know have stopped sinning. They're teaching the gospel of Jesus Christ. They're not asking for any money whatsoever. And may the Lord bless you as you seek him with all your heart. Remember to subscribe down below and like the video and share it on your Facebook and other social media. And then make a comment, whether a question or a comment. We read all of them and we try to respond to all. Get on over to our website, The Rooted Word, and start reading the translation and also the articles we've posted. It's at therootedword.com, therootedword.com. And may the Lord bless you as you seek him with all your heart.